What's going on, everyone? My name is Jose Bouquet, and of course, as always, I'm joined with the Max Scherzer to my Garrett Cole. It's Andrew Santangelo. Andrew, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing very well. We are 2 days from opening day, 3 days till our teams get going, and I can't be any more excited for Friday to come, where we can finally watch the Phillies and Red Sox, and hopefully we'll see what kind of year it is for both of them.
Yeah, looking at their over-unders, Andrew, it seems like we're both in store for a very similar year. So we'll see about that. We'll see what we say about that when the time comes. But I'm excited. It's a good time. First Red Sox scrimmage today that I'll be watching after the show. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fine. We're both gonna make the playoffs. And who knows? If we're gonna make the World Series, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, of course.
What do you think the odds are in our lifetimes we see a Phillies Red Sox World Series?
Probably not likely, but
No, yeah, not likely at all. You know what? I think our friendship would come into real strain right there.
I'm trying to think if there's ever a year that was probably 2008 would have been the closest.
Yeah.
Didn't you guys lose to the Rays in the LCS?
I believe so. Yes, off the top of my head, I can't really remember because I've got so much other AL East knowledge in my head right now. But yeah, it's been fun. So hopefully our teams match up one of these years, and our friendship can really be tested. It'll be great.
That's what the Sixers Celtics are for. I feel like we play each other every year.
Oh, we do. It gets really our Sixers Celtics texts get really contentious, and I enjoy it because I just make fun of Ben Simmons' lack of an ability to shoot a three, and it's great.
And we could see another first round Sixers Celtics matchup, so we'll see.
I do not want that. That is something I do not want. For our friendship and for my sanity, I don't want that at all. Not even a little bit. It's very annoying how well the Sixers match up with the Celtics now. But people aren't here for the Sixers and Celtics. Maybe another show we'll talk Sixers Celtics. But now it's time to talk about some baseball news. We will get into the AL NL East preview. It's going to be a great time. First, we're going to hit some stories that have been bubbling around in the baseball world. We'll try to make these quick because there is a lot to talk about with the AL and NL East. First off, Andrew, we've got the Blue Jays being homeless now. Toronto cannot go and play in Toronto. The Canadian government declared them not essential or something of that nature and basically told them they can't have home games in their home stadium. So they are now searching for a home. Potential places have been mentioned, like Buffalo, because there's a very nice AAA stadium there, apparently. The Orioles have talked to them, apparently, and so the Pittsburgh Pirates. That would be really weird. That's my least favorite option of all of these options. Andrew, where do you think the homeless Blue Jays will play this year, and what are your thoughts on this whole thing as a story right now?
First off, when I first saw it, I kind of laughed because I understand the MLB is kind of traveling back and forth, so obviously that's more quote unquote dangerous. But so they rule the Blue Jays not allowed to play their home games, but yet they're going to be the host of the NHL's bubble is in Canada.
Hey, so Canada hockey means more.
It seems a little contradictory there, but it's I get it. The no travel part is probably what put this one into perspective for them to kind of rule this out. That way you don't have them travel. I mean, who knows how many times they travel back and forth and then have other teams come into their place. But I think the big thing here is out of the stadiums left, Buffalo is where their AAA team is. But I heard ownership really wants to give them an MLB park.
Of course.
So I think they're going to do everything they can to get that worked out. Out of the ones mentioned, I think PNC Park's going to be the winner. I really do. I'm interested to see why you don't like that one.
It's just weird. I like the stadium. It's just weird having the Blue Jays play their home games at the Pirates. That's just it's so lame. I'd much rather them do a AAA stadium.
I mean, for us, it doesn't really matter. But I guess I've never been to that AAA stadium. But I guess it's
super nice.
It's probably nice, but it's also probably a big drop off. I mean, it's not what the players are used to, and obviously you're trying to get them everything they can to get it as much of a normal season as they can, and they don't want them to give them the AAA park, I guess. I heard, I think I read it on Twitter. Apparently the Rangers, even though they got a new stadium, they haven't knocked down Globe Life Field yet, so that'd be funny if they threw the Blue Jays in there.
That would be awful. I feel bad for the Blue Jays. Then I have to play the baking Texas Heat all day. That'd be awesome. It'd be so cool for them.
But I really think PNC Park's going to be the winner. It seems like what they're closest on so far these last couple of days. I think that's the most likely. I don't like it in the fact of I don't know how you're going to share a stadium. I mean, you already have to do all the social distancing stuff and obviously all the concerns with the coronavirus already. And now you're going to have potentially, if both teams are given a home game, 4 teams go in and out of that stadium, and you're going to have to. I mean, it's a lot of work on the workers as they're going to have to clean like crazy now.
Doubleheader, yeah. It's basically imagine to have a doubleheader with 2 different teams.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. See, that shit's like what are you gonna do?
Well, because
it's crazy.
To that case, I mean, if one game gets canceled, they're both going to be canceled whatever day that is. So you're going to potentially have 4 games then that next day. Yeah. Because if they're both home and the rain's obviously going to most likely affect both games. So then you're looking at 4 games in one day. It's going to be wild. It's like you said, it's going to be weird seeing the Blue Jays play at home. I also think it's probably the most likely destination because you're probably able to work around a lot of the conflicts with the Pirates being in a different division. Where if you go to, say, Baltimore, I think you mentioned, you might get a lot more conflicts there with them both being in the same division. So I think that's another reason why PNC Park could be the destination.
Yeah, I agree with you. So we'll move on with the Blue Jays. Hopefully they find a stadium soon. Maybe they'll even break the news while we're on air. Next story, Gabe Kepler and the Giants kneel for the national anthem, something that we'll probably see more of. Shout out to them. Respect the move. I will not criticize it because that is what more athletes will do, and I'm excited to see how this translates across everyone. I guess it's like McCutcheon. I anticipate McCutcheon on your Phillies will be kneeling as well. So see what happens. We'll see what the backlash is from each different team.
Yeah, this was very surprising to see. Honestly, obviously we saw that the Kaepernick started it a while ago, but you never really saw it get to baseball. I mean, you saw it affect NBA in a different way. I don't remember anybody really kneeling, but I mean, you saw the different stuff that the NBA has done and the players have done through the last couple of years, but you really haven't seen any MLB players take action here. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think a couple of years ago, maybe after the NFL season, the year Kaepernick did it, I think there's one guy on the A's that knelt for a game or two.
Yeah, I remember that too.
I can't remember his name, but that was really the only time you saw it, and then it fell off fast. So this was the big start of it. I forget who it was, but one of the players that knelt said something on Twitter after the game. So I think it's a good stance to see it kind of getting to baseball again for the lack of it being there these last couple of years. And it's nice to see a manager kind of take action as well, backing up his players there and not kind of throwing them under the bus, which we've seen in the past from different coaches.
I agree with you. We have a comment from ye old Preston Ekdahl asking about the Orioles over-under of 20.5. We'll talk about the over-under when we get to the Orioles, but I don't anticipate them being much talked about. So I think we can answer this now, Andrew. Over-under 20 wins. I'm going to go ahead and say under because the Orioles suck.
Yeah, I'm going to say under as well. I don't see a way they get, especially in the competition they're going to have to face, and they're arguably 2 of the best divisions in the game right now. And I don't see. You're probably looking at maybe
they have to beat the Marlins, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays. Those are the 3 teams that they can really beat out of all the teams they're going to play.
But we'll get into it in a little bit. But even the Marlins, I think, have a significant edge over them, just because at least the Marlins went out and signed decent talent this offseason to kind of get some type of names in there. Like Corey Dickerson's always been a pretty good hitter for average and stuff. So, and then they got some prospects, and Caleb Smith, the pitcher, has been really good, and he has a lot of upside with him. So at least the Marlins got some guys you can look forward to watching. Wow, this Orioles team, I don't think they're calling any of their prospects up yet. So until they're up, this doesn't have much.
Fingers crossed they do, though. So shout out to the Orioles. Next piece of baseball news. First female base coach ever, Alyssa Nacken. Hope I'm saying her name right. Female first base coach for the San Francisco Giants. Shout out to her. I think she's also the first female ever on a major league coaching staff too. So we love to see that. Andrew, do you have any thoughts?
Like you said, you love to see it. Again, another big change that you're seeing. Was it the first female coach was the 49ers, I think?
Yes, I think so. She's like one of the strength coaches or something like that.
So I think that was the first step, and now you're going to – I think it's going to – once one does it, that's when you start to see it follow. I mean, I think with a lot of other things, I know it's a shame, but I feel like some teams don't want to be that first team. And then once the first team does it, or the first person does it, you kind of get the domino effect, and you see it kind of transition. And obviously you have the Spurs doing it under Greg Popovich, have an assistant female coach, and then you get the 49ers to do it. Now it stays in San Francisco with the Giants. So very cool to see, and hopefully it continues to find that trend and give females opportunity to take advantage of that.
Shout out to Kara Lawson, great coach for the Celtics. Now is going to go coach women's basketball at Duke. So shout out to her. Very good bench coach. And shout out to Preston for locking his 1K Oriole bet. I hope you are rooting against the Orioles as much as I am this week at Preston. All right, so let's get into this AL NL East preview, Andrew. It's going to be a fun one because this is both of our divisions. We left this one probably for a purpose, because we probably feel strongly about this division. Probably the least amount of prep I've had to do, because I know these teams well, unfortunately. And we're going to start with the AL, Andrew, of course.
Okay.
And we're going to start with what people are saying. They're calling the Yankees the second best team in baseball. So let's talk about them, Andrew. The New York Yankees, 103-59 last year, pretty good. Lost in the ALCS to the cheating Astros. That was something I really hated to see personally, Andrew. Their over-under is at 37.5, pretty high number. Notable additions, they picked up some pitcher named Garrett Cole. He's pretty good. They lost Didi Gregorius, Edwin Encarnacion, and Betances, who hasn't really contributed on their team much recently. The real question is, Andrew, how good is this Yankees team going to be? Garrett Cole is the ace that they needed for a really long time. This is their game 1 guy, their game 7 guy. How good is Garrett Cole going to be this year, Andrew, and how good are the Yankees going to be overall?
I think Garrett Cole will be fine. I don't think there's much to worry about him on that end. I know sometimes you see a guy come into a new spot and kind of struggle or something when he first gets going, but I don't think you're going to see that with Cole. I think he's a real pitcher, and he'll be fine. Might see a little spike in his ERA, but not too much overall. I mean, he's been in the AL. It's not like he's switching over league, so he'll be used to a lot of these hitters, and he used to pitch in the NL. So even in a year like this where you're stuck to those guys, he'll be familiar with some of the NL guys as well. So I don't think there's much to worry about on Cole's end. But with the Yankees overall, I honestly think this team's a little overrated.
Yes, Andrew. Let's go. Yeah.
I think you can definitely name 4 better teams in the American League. So okay. I put just in the American League. You mentioned how they're viewed as the second best team in MLB overall. I'm looking at around at least 6. I really think the Astros are better than them. The A's are better than them. The Twins, Indians are better than them. And then obviously the Dodgers, which we've already talked about them. So I think those 5 teams are better than this Yankees team. The Yankees pitching is a real concern in my eyes, and your hitting can only take you so far. And with the Yankees hitting, yeah, they have good players, but a lot of these guys also strike out a lot. So it's not like they're contact hitters; they're basically home run or strikeouts, and I think that's a huge concern for this team.
Yeah, you know what, Andrew? I thought I was going to be the -1 here. I don't have to be, I guess. That's awesome. So I think the Yankees are still good, Andrew. Unfortunately, I think spoiler. I think they're going to win the AL East. Unfortunately, Garrett Cole is going to be very good. I think he could win over 7 games this year. He might win almost every start he has, just because if he doesn't pitch bad, the Yankees bats will be there with those home runs. They've led the AL. I think they've led all of baseball in home runs for the last 3 or 4 years. They like hitting home runs. And in this 3 true outcomes baseball that we have, Andrew, of walk, strikeout, or home run, they're doing it right. They've got the biggest bats, and let's see what we get from a guy like Giancarlo Stanton, because he's the big money man who really is not the big money man, I guess I can say. He hasn't been their one guy, their big bat that solidified their lineup. He hasn't been in the lineup much because of injuries. He's had 1 good years with the Yankees, and now maybe this 60-game season is just what he needs, because he's not going to survive 162, apparently. That's just not happening anymore. But
it goes beyond just him too. And that's another big concern with this Yankees team. I mean, you can list a lot of guys that are going to benefit from 60 games, and that's another huge concern. I mean, Chapman's been hurt before, and he has the coronavirus already, so he's questionable, and we'll see when he actually gets back. James Paxton, he's been hurt before. Tanaka's been hurt before. Aaron Hicks has been hurt before. Aaron Judge, Stanton. I mean, they've all
the ball just last week. He got smashed in the head with a ball from Stanton off the bat. He looks fine now, but like he's injury prone or accident prone. There's something with him at Tanaka. I think he's also overrated too, but whatever.
Well, he was huge when he first came over here, and I remember I think he lived up to it his first couple starts, and I think teams started to adjust and figure him out, and you kind of saw that drop off so fast.
Yeah, that's how it is for all these Japanese pitchers that come over. Same thing happened with Daisuke. I feel like, unfortunately, that might happen with Shohei. Who knows what we're going to see from him this year? But Tanaka's been good for the Yankees as their number one for the last couple of years. But now he doesn't have to do that anymore. He's not going to have to go up against your Justin Verlanders and stuff like that. They have Cole for a reason. Maybe he pitches good enough. Like I said, he gives up like 2-3 runs a game, and the Yankees will score 5. And then they have the best bullpen in baseball, according to Fangraphs, according to everyone. They lost Betances, who could be one of the better relievers in baseball if he's actually healthy and throws strikes. And their bullpen's still great, even if they don't have Chapman. They've got I can't remember. Zach Britton. Yeah, I was going to say the guy from the Orioles. But, yeah, Zach Britton. He hasn't been on the Orioles forever now. But Zach Britton's a great closer, and he just happens to be their reliever in this situation. Adam Ottavino is disgusting. And they have a really good team, unfortunately, Andrew. Here are the numbers, according to Fangraphs. 73.8% to make the playoffs, and a whopping 48.8% to win the division, which I thought was pretty high, to be honest. I think they're disrespecting the next team that we're going to talk about. But Cole, Paxton, Tanaka, and J.A. Happ, that's going to have to carry them through the World Series that's obviously their goal. But that's going to have to carry them to the World Series. And
I just don't think it can. Like, honestly.
I'm right there with you. Cole's great, but Paxton's like a number 3. He can be a number 2, but I don't see it. I think he's more of a 3-starter too. And J.A. Happ's ass.
I wouldn't go that far.
I don't think J.A. Happ's very good at all. You can't sell me on J.A. Happ now anymore.
Anymore. Okay, I guess if you're talking about going into this year, maybe. But career-wise, he has not had a bad career.
Hey, man, we'll see what happens this year because I'm not sold. I'm not sold at all. I need to see it. And the next team we're going to talk about is rotations kicks this team's asses. It's the offense that's really going to have to carry him.
Yeah, I'm surprised. You said 48% chance to win the division.
48.8%, basically 49. Yeah, that's high, super high.
I'm very shocked. Unless they give the next team, the Rays, a high percentage as well, and just dwindle down the final 3. That's the only way I can see that. But yeah, if not, I'm interested to see what they do give Tampa Bay.
Hey, we'll now, Andrew. Players to watch. Who do you got for the Yankees?
I'm really interested to see what they get at Gary Sanchez this year. Another guy that's constantly hurt. A lot of potential coming into the year. Was very highly rated, or not the year, his career when he first came up. Very highly rated. He obviously has the power. He never stays healthy, and his fielding has not been good at all. So I'm interested to see what they do with him because, again, as you mentioned, all the other guys get hurt too. They want to keep staying as the DH, but if Sanchez can't field and continues to struggle on that end, they have to move him to DH. Then you got to move Stanton back into the outfield, and I don't think that's what they want.
That's a bad time, yeah.
And that's why I'm really interested to see. Like we mentioned the pitching staff, but I think another name that really could make or break this team is Gary Sanchez, just because if he does struggle, it will hurt this team tremendously, and just in that aspect with all the shifting they're going to have to do.
Yeah, my players to watch are obviously their top 3 bats. Aaron Judge, is he finally going to stay healthy? I saw a video of him from the Miami Marlins World Series All-Star Break Home Run Derby, and he was skinny. He looked pretty thin to what he looks like now. He's jacked, and for some, Andrew, I'm not going to lay those allegations out there. He's jacked, and he keeps getting muscle injuries. I'm not saying. But who knows? He keeps getting hurt. Let's see if he can put together a whole season of 60 games. Maybe he can hit 20 home runs. Maybe he can be that guy that was supposed to be the Bronx Bomber, the face of the Yankees, all that good stuff. He needs to do that if they want to win the World Series. Gleyber Torres, unfortunately my favorite Yankee because he's from Venezuela. He's been incredible. He's going to be their guy for the future, unfortunately. He's going to be really, really good, I think. And then Gio Urshela, who came up out of nowhere. I had never heard of Gio Urshela until last year. And he came out of nowhere, had a great season. I think he had over like 330. It was ridiculous. Can he do it again? They need it. Because their pitching will only take you so far. Garrett Cole's great. He can win you game 1, game 4, and game 7. But you have to win the games in between.
Yeah, you mentioned Aaron Judge. I'm interested to see how many games he plays. I mean, like you said, he's dealt with a lot of injuries, and he's missed 110 games in the last 2 years combined, 60 and 50, respectively, those years, in 18 and 19. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think if this season would have started on time, he would have been one of the Yankees on the DL or the IL.
I believe he had like a shoulder strain or something like that.
So who knows where he's at with that? Obviously, they're going to say he's doing pretty good and he'll be ready. But I mean, we all know a lot of teams just say that, and then they play 2 or 3 games and they get shut down again. So
I mean, he hit a weird home run against your Phillies, apparently.
Oh yeah, that was a very what.
I didn't see the clip. I just saw it come on my screen like 6 times and did 6 different things. Like Aaron Judge hits the weirdest home run in Yankee Stadium ever. I'm like, of course, because it's like fucking 200 feet down the fucking line. Of course, he's gonna hit it.
Well, he hit it pretty well. It wasn't that aspect of it being weird. So the way these exhibition games are going is they don't really judge it by outs. They more judge it by the amount of pitches the pitcher's throwing. So our pitcher flew through the inning and had like 3 outs and I forget, like 10 pitches or something like that. So they kept him on the field. So Aaron Judge hit a home run after the 3rd out. And then he was all confused. He's like, do I run around the bases? He started running. And then some of the Phillies guys were making jokes at him. So he kind of stopped running and then he restarted. So it was just a mess.
Bully him. Good. I love it. I love it to see
it. Yeah, so it was just funny because he hit it after the 3rd out.
Good. Well, I'm glad. I'm all for them making fun of Aaron Judge. Let's finish this Yankees up. Andrew, over under 37.5.
I'm going under.
I'm going under as well. Yeah.
Again, I really think this team's a little overrated, and then the competition they have. Again, I think these are 2 arguably the top divisions in the MLB this year coming into the year, and I think that's going to play a factor, and they're going to beat each other up, and I don't think they get to 37.
I don't either. I agree with you. I'm glad we agree, Andrew. I'm glad we got the agreement in there. All right, let's talk about the next team. Spoiler alert, a World Series team in some of our eyes here. The Tampa Bay Race, 96 and 66 last year, 63% to make the playoffs, 35% to win a division. Over under of 34, Andrew. Very good number at 34. Great number at 34. They've lost Travis d'Arnaud, good catcher, and Eric Sogar. They didn't really add anyone of consequence, but we'll never forget that Chris Archer trade with the Pirates, Austin Meadow and Tyler Glasnow.
Yeah, I wonder who won that trade.
Fucking fleecing. The fleecing of all fleeces. One of the worst trades in recent memory. Shout out to the Red Sox as well. But they're a great team, Andrew. Some will say they've got Charlie Morton. They've got Glasnow, who turns out to be fucking good, a really great pitcher. And they've got the young talent in their farm system coming up this year to give them the depth that you really need in this pandemic baseball right now. Andrew, what are your thoughts on the Rays overall?
Well, first off, you mentioned in those 2 pitchers, you forgot arguably the best pitcher of the staff in Blake Snell.
Oh yeah, that guy. I don't know why I don't like Blake Snell. I like Charlie Morton and what's his name a lot more.
Glasnow.
Yeah, Glasnow. But Blake Snell is all right, I guess. He's pretty.
Well, he had a weird year last year. He really struggled last year. But if you go back to 18, he won 21 games. So obviously that's pretty significant. He had
right. He won the Cy Young, right?
Yeah, I think so because he had a 1.89 ERA. So I sure hope he won the Cy Young that year.
Yeah, let's go ahead and say he won the Cy Young that year for sure. I remember.
But yeah, last year he took a huge step back. I forget if he had any injuries or not, but he went 6-8 with a 4.29 ERA. So obviously that's a tremendous jump up. So we'll see what they get out of him. He's a guy you want to keep an eye on, and we'll see what they get out of him. But I like the addition of Jose Martinez. I think it's going to be a great spot there for him as a DH. He's always been a pretty good overall hitter, contact and power-wise, coming in, I think, from St. Louis. And then they got a lot of names that kind of remind me of the A's. They have a lot of good player names that most people aren't going to recognize. I think a catcher's a spot they could have upgraded a little better. I'm not a big Mike Zuno fan.
Yeah, they did lose Travis, like we said, so they do need an upgrade there, and we'll see if trades happen this year. Hey, Andrew, I heard Philadelphia has a catcher with a low contract that is having some trouble signing it. Who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Phillies
I don't
sign
know.
JT, please.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, we can get into that later, but
I'm just asking questions. But
no, yeah, he's up in 60 games, so we'll see.
that's hilarious. All right. By the way, 210 Cinema and Sports, another show that's on the Pub Sports Radio channel, comments and say the Astros won. Yay. And we leave it like that because we don't like the Astros here. So there we go. We acknowledge the comment. But yeah, Charlie Morton is the engine that is going to keep this team going. He had statistically the best curveball in baseball last year. He's my favorite pitcher on the staff. I can't believe the Astros let him go. But I think he's going to be a Cy Young candidate for sure, Andrew.
Yeah, the one real quick on the Astros, it's just amazing. They lose Garrett Cole and Charlie Morton. I know you're not a big fan of him, but they still bring in Zach Greinke, so they don't lose too much in that, and they always know how to replace it. I don't get why you don't like Greinke, but
I just don't think he's very good anymore. I'm not a fan. Win a game 7 in the World Series, Zach Greinke, loser. If you win that game, maybe your team would win the World Series. I don't know. Game 7. Thank you for 210 Cinema and Sports. I am the man. Thank you. I know. But Andrew, let's get into this team. We haven't talked about the Rays much. They deserve a lot of our time because I just told you, Andrew, I think this is a World Series caliber team. I love their pitching staff. I love it. 3 starters right there that could get you a win in any 3 games. And they always find a way to manufacture runs. G-Man Choi, everyone's favorite utility man now, is up there in Tampa Bay dominating. Thankfully, I guess for the Rays, they don't have to worry about home field advantage anymore because no one goes to Rays games in that ugly stadium. So now it's even playing field for them. So good for them, I guess. Hunter Renfroe, very good. And I just really believe in this team, man. I really like it. Brandon Lau was good last year. If the defense or if the offense can keep up, can get average like 4 runs a game, I think their defense will be very set. I think Blake Snell, Glasnow, and Morton will be very, very comfortable. And
so
great too, by the way.
It sounds like you're a lot higher on this team than I am.
Of course, I mean,
I do think again. Did you say what their FanGraph percentage was to win this division?
To win a division is 35%.
Okay, so that's not too bad. That's around where I would have thought. I just would have thought they would have given the Yankees a little less. But
well, yeah,
I really think
there's definitely disrespect for the next team.
What was that?
There's definitely a lot of disrespect going around for the next team we're going to talk about. So
okay,
that's probably why. But how do you feel about the Rays, Andrew? I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I think this team. I don't have high hopes in that. I really don't think they're World Series contenders. I don't see. I get it. They have talent in that starting rotation. I don't think you're going to really know what you get out of your bullpen too much. Their expected closers, Nick Anderson, he doesn't have much experience in that role yet. Last year, he had over a 3-year ERA, so you want something lower with that when it comes to closers. So I think that's a question mark. Again, I think the way these divisions shake up, the competition here is going to really hurt them. But I think they got a lot of guys you still don't know what you're going to get out of them, and a lot of people do have hopes with these guys. I don't see it as much, and we'll see. And I could be wrong, but I'm not high on the Rays.
Okay, fair enough. You don't join the Rays bandwagon. We don't need.
I'm not.
I'm looking up my ticket right now for the Rays. Where are they? 14 plus 1,400 to win the World Series. We've got $25 to win $350. So I'm a big Rays fan this year, as well as Red Sox. So that'll be fun to watch, Andrew. I told you their over-under is at 34, Andrew. Where are you going with this one? Because I told you this is a very, very good number, I think.
I think it's a good number. I'm going to take the under. I don't think they get the 34.
I said under 2, but I wrote in parentheses push because I think they get exactly 34.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I just hate picking the push.
Yeah, no, we're not losers here. But I think we go under barely, like 33, 32 wins. They still get the playoff spot, though.
We'll see about that.
We will see about this. Next team up. Oh, boy. All right, Andrew. The next team up is the Boston Red Sox. It is my favorite baseball team. They went 84-78 last year. Not good. After winning the World Series, 35% chance to make the playoffs, 14% chance to win a division. Their over-under is at 31.5. I want your thoughts first on the Red Sox as an outside perspective before I tell you what I think about the Red Sox.
Honestly, I think that 14% to win the division is a little generous for this Red Sox team. I don't know why you're shaking your head because you've been talking bad about him for the entire offseason.
I'm already pissed. Let's go, Andrew.
You've been talking bad about him for the entire offseason, so you don't have much.
They have not deserved any praise, not even a little bit, but continue.
But, I mean, it's a shame to see Chris Sale sitting out. So what? I think your number one starter is going to be Eduardo Rodriguez, if that's correct. So I think that's
right now because Eduardo Rodriguez had COVID, so he was out too. So
Nathan Eovaldi?
Yeah, it's Nate Eovaldi on opening day. Let's go, Nate Eovaldi. I'm all in, Andrew. I'm all in.
I think that already proves my point for 14% being generous to win the division. But
the starters, let me tell you, Andrew, this Red Sox team, no pitchers, not even one.
I'm really curious if you ask like an average fan, and you read this pitching staff without Chris Sale, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they'd also have Martin Perez, Ryan Weber, and then Brian Johnson. That felt the rotation.
Yeah. Ryan Weber is basically a created player on 2K or on MLB The Show. So yeah.
I'm very interested to see if the average fan has ever heard of any of these guys.
Let me tell you, I can guarantee you, no one in their right mind has heard of Ryan Weber. He is horrible too. So let me tell you, Andrew. Andrew, you know it's time because you're getting me worked up here about the pitching, and it pisses me off, Andrew. It makes me so angry. It makes me so angry. There's no one on this staff besides Eovaldi and Erod that I trust. Martin Perez? Who the hell is Martin Perez? He stinks.
He's a guy from the Rangers, right?
No, he was for the Twins. Wait, he was the Rangers or the Twins? Oh, yeah, I think he played for both too. But I think I'm thinking Kyle Gibson actually. I don't know, but he pitched for the Rangers at one point. I agree with you, but he's terrible. He's so bad. And then Brian Johnson. I mean, he's coming for the Red Sox, and he's been okay at times, but he's guaranteed, Andrew, 4 innings, 5 runs, 2 Ks. That's it. You're not getting any less than 5 runs from Brian Johnson. So, by the way, Sam commented, Texas Rangers legend Martin Perez. Put some respect on his name. Sorry, Sam. Sorry. I'll if he becomes a Boston Red Sox legend, you know what? I'll buy the jersey. No fucking doubt. If Martin Perez can win more than 5 games this year, Andrew, I'm gonna go pick up a fucking Martin Perez jersey.
Real quick, here's his last 3 seasons ERA. In 2017, a 4.82, 2018, 6.22, and 2019, 5.12.
Yeah. So if he wins 5 games this year, Andrew, the jersey, strap on the Perez jersey on my back.
But with offenses, he has found a way. In 17, he won 13 games, and last year he still won 10 games.
Hell yeah.
So we'll get into the Red Sox offense in a little bit because their offense isn't bad at all. It's actually pretty good.
It's great. It's the same team, just without the second best player in baseball. If you know what, we haven't talked about additions and subtractions. Let's talk about additions and subtractions. Because obviously the Phillies and the Red Sox are the teams we're probably going to talk about most about in this podcast. So get ready for this. We lose the Red Sox. I'm not a we. The Red Sox lose Mookie Betts, the second best player in baseball. Chris Sale, Tommy John, out for the year. Arguably a top 5 pitcher in baseball in the AL when he's good. Rick Porcello, the 3rd starter last year, gone to the Mets. I didn't write David Price, but David Price traded with Mookie Betts, the second best starter from last year. So your top 3 starters there, gone. All right, good. Brock Holt, utility man, was good for the Red Sox. I love him. And Eduardo Nunez, a great player when he's healthy. And the additions, Andrew, hold on to your seat, Andrew. I hope you're sitting down, Andrew.
I'm sitting down.
Alex Verdugo, the man traded for Mookie Betts, forever known that. Let me tell you, I can tell you right now, Alex Verdugo, he's not going to cut it in Boston now. I just don't believe it. There's no way.
Great. Since you're talking about him, is he replaced by Kevin Pillar by the end of the year?
Fuck. Damn it. No, they're going to play him. They have to play him because he's young and they have to make it work. So that hurt my feelings, though, Andrew. That really hurt my feelings. He's not. I'll be surprised if he starts over 45 games because I definitely think he's going to switch with Pillar. So that really hurt my feelings, though. I don't appreciate that at all. And so they get Verdugo. Shout out to him. Jose Peraza, who's apparently reborn. He's been great in summer camp, whatever we're calling this now. Every Red Sox fan and beat reporter have been like, Jose Peraza, great. So he's going to be our second baseman. So shout out to him. I'm excited, I guess, to see that. And Andrew, the catcher that has been with every single team now. He was with the Angels. I think he was with the A's. I think he was with the Rockies. He was with the Brewers. Jonathan Lucroy's on the Red Sox now, and he's curse spot. Look at these additions, Andrew.
Fantastic.
Three studs. And let me tell you, when you lose your 3 starting pitchers, replacing it with 1 starting pitcher, I don't know, man. I don't know. But Andrew, we say all this to say they still have a top 5 offense in baseball. That's over exaggerating. They still have a top.
I don't know about that.
They have maybe a top 5 offense in the AL. Maybe. They have JD Martinez, arguably the best DH in baseball right now, on a contract year probably. He can opt out after this year, so we'll see. Unfortunately, the universal DH doubled his market, so we'll see what happens. Xander Bogaerts, the best shortstop in the AL. Man of the people, going to be the next Red Sox captain. Rafael Devers, the best young third baseman in baseball. Great. Andrew Benintendi, great pick. Draft pick. We love him. And that's about it. You have Jackie Bradley Jr., who's terrible on offense, but is very streaky. The best defensive center fielder out there. Shout out to Mike Trout. Still the better than Mike Trout. And then Verdugo. And then we'll fill in some steak and potatoes with Mitch Moreland at first, maybe some Christian Vasquez behind the plate. And they'll stitch together. And I think that my bold prediction for the Red Sox is they're going to be a top 5 offense this year in the AL.
So before I touch some of that, have you guys has the Red Sox finally moved on from Dustin Pedroia? Is that what I'm hearing?
No. Dustin Pedroia, he's still there. Unfortunately, he just always hurt. His knees just refuse. He's played so hard that his knees just said no more.
How much longer is he under contract?
I think this is his last year.
Okay. So he should retire after this year, is what you're saying.
Yes. However, what the Red Sox should have done is been like, Dustin, we appreciate you trying to get back. You've had 3 setbacks in your rehab. How about you just be a bench coach? Be a coach. Just take over for this year. We don't have to pay your ridiculous ass contract now on the payroll. We can just give you that same contract as a coach. So it's not going to count to the salary cap, salary cap relief, because that's what the Red Sox like to do, like the pinch pennies now, and do something. But he's still there. He's a coach basically now.
Well, the Red Sox are a small market, right? That's why they got.
Yeah. The poor Red Sox. That's what they are. But really, all this whole season, it doesn't matter, Andrew. It's 60 games. Who cares? We're just gonna ride it out. We're gonna get through the Alex Cora suspension. They're gonna rehire Alex Cora. He's gonna sweet talk Mookie Betts. They're gonna give him 10, 350, and let's call it a day. Let's get back to it next year.
Okay, you can keep hoping for that, but why would the Red Sox change their mind on the contract? That was the whole issue.
Because Andrew, they needed to get under the luxury tax. They needed to get now that they're under the luxury tax, the penalty's reset, and Alex Cora is going to come back. He's going to sweet talk Mookie Betts. He's going to Mookie. Remember all these good times you had in Boston? You won a World Series with LA this year. You did everything you needed to do with LA. Good job, Mookie. Now come back home. So Mookie Betts coming back home. Shout out to Sam. I'm not smoking anything, Sam, but he's going to come back. I can't wait. It's going to be the greatest trade in Red Sox history. They're going to get Mookie Betts and a top 10 prospect in Alex Verdugo for nothing. I can't wait.
Do we have Perez this year? Is that?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. No parades. Okay, let's finish this Red Sox talk off because we've talked a lot about him, and I've already gotten a little worked up, and we need to get to your side of the division too.
Yeah, my last question for you: What are your thoughts about Mitch Moreland as an overall player?
I love.
Are you okay with him at first? I know career-wise, but like going into this year.
Mitch Moreland is my father, Andrew. He is my father. He feeds me steak and potatoes every morning for breakfast. I really hope we get 2018 Mitch Moreland. That was an all-star year, Mitch Moreland. He made the all-star team 2 years ago. He was really good. He just hits doubles off the Fenway wall. So I hope
he's one of the best defensive first basemen in the game.
Yeah, he's old as hell too, which is shocking. But if he could, there's so many former Rangers on this fucking Red Sox team. By the way, it's hilarious. Even though there's only two probably that I can think of. But Mitch Moreland, if he could be a good defensive catcher or first baseman, and he can hit for a decent average, hit some bombs, I'd be perfectly happy with that because Michael Chavis, a.k.a. the Ice Horse, is right there behind him at first base. He'll probably get a lot of PT, and then he'll probably sub in at second base too for Jose Peraza. But Chavis is the future. So I appreciate Mitch Moreland. Mitch Moreland is there to teach Michael Chavis how to play first base.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
There isn't. I love Mitch Moreland. I love him to death. I'd freaking die for Mitch Moreland. But I love it. I just realized I had Tampa Bay Rays going down this on the bottom the whole time we were talking about the Red Sox. So shout out to me for getting worked up. But yeah, I think the Red Sox are going to be okay this year. I don't know if we mentioned it. Their over-under is 31.5, Andrew. Let's talk about that now. 500. 500 is basically what we're saying. 30 Gabe, 500, Andrew, what are your thoughts? Over under 30.
Over under 30 or over under 31.5?
31.5. Sorry.
All right, I'm going under.
That hurts my feelings.
You're going over?
Of course I'm going to go over. I have to go over.
Over 31.5?
Yeah, I have to go over, Andrew. They're going to win 32 games. They're going to sneak into the wild card. What are you saying? Nate Eovaldi's going to pitch game one of the playoff game. Whatever they're playing, shit. I can't wait.
Sam, I think you need to repost your last comment.
Yeah, Sam, let's go. I can't wait. Let's go.
I can't tell. We'll wait for the playoff predictions. I can't tell if you're being serious about that.
Yeah, I guess we will be able to tell. We'll wait and see. But over,
because there's no way you're picking. There's no way you actually picked them to get to the wild card spot.
Well, I guess we'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, I'm going under 31.5. They'll probably get 29 to 30 wins.
That's fine. I'll take that as long as they sign Mookie Betts. That's really what this season's all about. So, all right, Andrew, let's talk about the next team. Oh goodness, Sam with the Jose, you were dropped on your head as a child because there's no way a sane person thinks that. And Sam, when the Red Sox sign Mookie Betts, we'll bring up this clip and we'll see who wins. And when Mookie Betts signs back in LA for like $10 bajillion, I will just delete my Twitter and you won't see me ever again. So it'll be fine.
I think Sam was more referring to your wild card spot, not the Mookie Betts signing. You can make a case for the Betts. You can make a case for the Betts signing, but you're over 31.5 is where you're going. You're going crazy.
What's more likely to happen? Mookie Betts re-signs with the Red Sox, or they make the playoffs this year?
Mookie Betts re-signs with the Red Sox. Easy.
All right, hey, that's fine with me. There we go. I would be much more happy if he did that. I'd be so much more happy. That's what I needed, Andrew. Thank you for making my day. I appreciate that.
No problem. So wait, last thing: 2020 World Series winners or Mookie Betts signing next year? If you only could get one of them, you guys win the World Series, you don't re-sign them, or you lose, or you don't make the World Series and you re-sign them. What are you taking?
Okay. So let's frame it like this, because the fact that I'm thinking about this hard is already
that's very bad. Like most people pick a World Series title easy.
It's telling. So let's think about this, Andrew. I'll admit it. I have watched a lot of Dodger baseball this year, unfortunately, and let me tell you, yesterday I was just at home, minding my business. I was like, oh look, there's exhibition games. Let's tune in. What would hurt? I see all the teams playing, and I see Dodgers, Diamondbacks. I'm like, oh, well, I'm obviously going to pick the Dodgers because this is a fun team to watch. Jock Peterson, immediately when I get on there, Jock Peterson 2-run home run. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm not really paying attention. I'm half paying attention. I look over, there's 3 guys on, And what do you know? A bald Mookie Betts comes up to the plate. And I watch him destroy a 3-run home run, Andrew. I watched him do that with my own eyes. Which is all of this is to say, I love Mookie Betts, but if this Red Sox team beat that Dodgers team, I'd shit my pants. I don't care. I would hold that. That would be amazing. So I guess I have to pick the World Series, but I fucking love Mookie Betts.
Okay, now, I'm very glad to hear you say that because I honestly thought you were going the road of picking a Betts comeback over a Red Sox World Series.
But no question, I'll take Mookie Betts. If it's ALCS, I'll take Mookie Betts 10 times out of 10. No fucking doubt. No doubt in my mind. But let's move on, Andrew, because we talked a lot about the Red Sox. Let's go over these next two teams kind of quickly here. First, we have the homeless Blue Jays. As we mentioned, they do not have a home field because Canada does not want them to play in Toronto. Last year, they finished 67-95, 8.4 chance to make the playoff, and a 3% chance to win the division. This is a fun team. This will be a fun team to watch. I'll enjoy watching their games when they play the Red Sox. But this is not the complete package yet. They signed Hyunjin Ryu. They got Tanner Roark from the Nationals, I believe he's still there. They signed Travis Shaw to replace Justin Smoke, who they lost, which is their big subtraction from this year. But really, all eyes are on Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Cavan Biggio, Bo Bichette. That is all you need to know when you're watching the Toronto Blue Jays. And they still have good players. There are other good players, like Yuli Gurriel's brother, whose name I can never pronounce. And their pitching staff's okay. Nate Pearson, young pitcher for the Blue Jays, he's electric. Very good. And I think he's going to be the next guy out there. So that'll be fun. But what are your thoughts on these Blue Jays, Andrew?
They're about a year, maybe 2 years away. I think they did a lot of good things this offseason. They have a lot of good young hitters that could carry them a long way. But then they mixed it with a lot of veteran pitchers, which is an interesting mix. And like you mentioned, they get Roark. They also brought in Chase Anderson, I think, from Milwaukee, Matt Shoemaker from the Angels, I think. So they bring in a lot of these veterans, which we'll see how they kind of mix in well and if they can kind of carry them a little bit in the 60-game season. I think this is a team to watch this year. I'm not as high on them as I was with the White Sox and Reds, but I think this is a team that could really make noise on the early going if they get off to a nice start with veterans. Because like when you get veterans like that, who knows what kind of start they can get off to. And this year, if you do that, you can kind of cause some damage. And I honestly think they'll put up a good fight for that third spot in the division with the Red Sox. So, and they got a pretty good closer in Ken Giles. He's been very good over his career, and I think he still hits 100. I know he used to. Not sure if he still does. So a very hard thrower in that sense. Last year, one of the better closers in the game, finished with a 187 ERA. So I think if this team can get off to a very good start, they could make noise and maybe sneaking into a wild card spot. I don't think they have what it takes to beat out the Yankees yet, or even the Rays. But give it 2 or 3 years, and this team, we'll be talking about it for one of the better teams in the league, especially after the draft they had this past year. Yeah, this is going to be a good team. I mean, like I said, really everyone's going to be watching them for Vladdy and Cave and Biggio and Bo Bichette. This is what we're going to be tuning in for. We're going to see a full season of those three guys. That's going to be fun. I think Nate Pearson's going to start in their rotation too. Like I said, he's the guy that I'm really excited for fantasy players out there. Andrew, we have a fantasy draft tomorrow, I believe. If you take him, Andrew, I will kill you again. Andrew, I will kill you. But I'm excited for that. In terms of excitement, Andrew, not even as good of a team. Where do you rank them from, let's say, the Reds, the White Sox, and the Blue Jays? Are we talking about like future like just fun sustaining success, or fun to watch this year? Yes, because these are all like your three new teams. They've got all these players that no one's seen really, and I'd say they're exciting to watch. They will be exciting because again, a lot of young names on here. If we're talking about exciting for this year, I think they're the bottom of the three. I go Reds, White Sox, Blue Jays. I put the Reds last.
I put White Sox, Blue Baby Jays, and then Reds.
The Reds got a lot of veteran names that I like to watch that I think can really carry them and make them true contenders this year. While again, if we're talking about potential, Blue Jays are number one easy. This team will be a lot of fun to watch in this near future, and what they're able to do and how they kind of build it with this. We mentioned there's veteran pitchers, so we'll see if they kind of attack bigger names because we saw it in the past when they had the young guys, and then they went out and signed. They stole R.A. Dickey from the Mets after his Cy Young year, and this year they go out and get Ryu. If they can keep him along, and you see what else they can do. I don't know the upcoming free agency in terms of starting pitchers, but we'll see if they can steal someone else. But I think, again, when you have guys like Mike Moustakas, we mentioned, I'm interested to see what we get out of Joey Votto coming back, see if he can kind of return to what he used to be. That rotation they built and Trevor Bauer, Sonny Gray, etc. I'm really excited to see that Reds team. And as I picked them to win the Central last week, I think it's going to do wonders for them this year compared to this Blue Jays team.
All right, good. All right, well, let's finish up the Blue Jays real quick because, again, we're already at an hour.
All right, yeah, now we get to that now.
Yeah. I haven't even got to the fucking NL. So great. All right, over under 28, Andrew. 28. I picked. I actually wrote down under, but I'm picking over because, spoiler alert, I might have them ahead of the Red Sox.
I thought the Red Sox are wild card.
Yeah, Andrew, relax.
I'm taking over 28. But real quick, the last guy on here, I think a player to watch for this Blue Jays team, not one of those prospect guys, is Travis Shaw. I mean, obviously he struggled big. Obviously, he struggled big time last year, but if he could do something like he did in 18, big power hitter, 32 home runs, 86 RBIs, never been much of an average hitter, but if he can kind of get that power production back and drive some of those runs in, I think that's going to be a key for them if they want to find some type of success on the early going. Yeah,
I love Travis Shaw. He like I said, he's the mayor of Ding Dong City. I saw him when he was in the Brewers AAA last year. He's going to be playing. I think he's going to be playing third base.
Yeah, I think
they're moving.
Vlad's going
first.
Yeah, I think Vlad's going to be first or
DH. Yeah,
I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm excited. I love Travis Shaw, and I hope he has a good year. So I like that pick by you. Let's finish off the AL East with the Baltimore Orioles. Let's not talk about these guys very much, Andrew. I'm going to give us a 3-minute limit to talk about the Blue Jays starting right now.
Orioles.
Blue Jays. Yeah, the Orioles. 54-108, not good. Over under of 21.5 where I saw it. Preston had it at 20.5. People are saying that this is a lock for the under. There is no one on this team that I would want to watch. John Means is their opening day starter against the Red Sox. I can't wait to see that. The only player I have to watch on this team, Andrew, is someone that might not even play on this team, and that's Adley Rutschman. I want to see him play, but they're not going to do it. There's no way they'd start the prospect clock this early. So I just want to see some top prospects from the Orioles.
Well, yeah, and especially when you have the whole thing where I think it's this year's 7 games, I think, before you get that service here. We kind of saw in the past with the big one was Chris Bryant. So with that being said, and with Baltimore not having much of a shot, they're not going to rush these guys yet. They're going to obviously wait those 7 games before they kind of use their service. So, yeah, this team's not much to go on this year. I do like was it Ronaldo Nunez?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how you say his first name, but I think he's a pretty good player. He'll be fun to watch. I think that's basically all you can go with this team. He was a pretty good player last year, so I think he's a decent guy to look out for. But outside of that, again, not much. Obviously, you got the ageless wonder in Chris Davis.
Man, keep collecting checks, Chris Davis. Keep collecting checks. All right. Last thing on the Orioles. What will be more, Andrew? Oriole total runs scored or Chris Davis strikeouts?
Oof.
Yeah. The fact that you're even thinking about this is hilarious.
It's gonna be run. It's gonna be run scored.
It's gonna be run scored, but it's hilarious that you didn't think about
No, yeah, but he can get up there. That's the thing. Like,
that. Yeah, he is not afraid of a strikeout, Andrew.
I mean,
He's
you talk about a true home runner strikeout guy. It's Chris Davis.
Chris Davis, yes.
He finished. So his worst year was 2016. He had 200
last year.
No, last year he had 139, but he only played 105 games.
Only 105.
No, well, compared to 2016 when he played 157, he had 219 strikeouts.
Yeah. I love him. I love Chris Davis. Shout out to him. Let's move on though, because we're done with the Orioles. They're bad. They're going to be really bad. Worst team in the league this year, probably. Let's talk about the NL, Andrew. This is your division. This is your time. Let's talk about it. The Atlanta Braves, 97-65, 52.7% to make the playoffs, 32% to win the division. Notable subtractions, a lot of them. I did not list all of them, but the most notable ones, Josh Donaldson on the Minnesota Twins now, Julio Teheran on the Angels. They lost Dallas Keuchel to the White Sox. In replacement to them, they picked up Marcell Ozuna, a great bat in the outfield. D'Arnaud, the catcher we mentioned earlier, and they have Yonder Alonso on their bench now. No pitching. No notable pitching they added in there. Their over-under right now is at 34 games. Andrew, you know the Braves well. You and your Philly friends probably talk about them often.
Yeah, pitchers I like. I think Mike Soroka is a very good young guy. I think he had a tremendous year last year. I would expect the same thing from him this year. So I think he's going to have to really hold down that rotation. Outside of that, I mean, I love Cole Hamels. They add him. I think he's going to miss the beginning of the year.
Wait, they added Cole Hamels?
Yeah.
Did they add him this year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he finished last year with the Cubs, right?
I would have never thought. I thought Cole Hamels was probably on the Cubs again. All right. Well, they added Cole Hamels. There you go. Missed that.
Let's see. Yeah, last year he finished the year with the Cubs last year. So, yeah.
Well,
they bring in –
there you go.
They bring in Hamels. I mean, he's not what he used to be. So, I mean, I think at best he'll be a 4 or 5 type of rotation guy. So, it's not a big name to bring in. But, again, I think he's missing the beginning of the year. And I think that's going to be the story of the Braves this year is how much guys do they miss early on. I mean, I don't know if Freddie Freeman's playing to start the year or not yet. I don't know if we know that.
He hit a home run recently. I don't know. I don't think he'll start like the first couple of games, but he'll be there.
Yeah, so he just got back. He had the coronavirus. That was an interesting read if you didn't read what he went through.
A fever of 104 does not sound like a good time.
Not at all. I mean, he said at one point he was praying where he was like, "Don't take me." Like it got that bad where he feared for his life.
Hey man, don't give a fuck. Just remember that, Andy.
But no, I think obviously the big guy to watch here is Ronald Acuna Jr. He's one of the best upcoming players in the game. We'll see what kind of level he can get to. I think Ozuna was a huge pickup for him. Now with Insur Arte, he's opting out. He's not going to play this year, so that leaves a hole in their outfield.
Nick Markakis is out too.
What was that?
Nick Markakis.
Oh, I'm going to mix that up. I'm going to mix that up.
Okay, well, Markakis is out. There you go.
Markakis is definitely out. I'm not sure about Insur Arte.
Oh, well, Marcell Ozuna is better than him, so that's all that matters.
So Ozuna's probably going to – originally I think their hope was to have him DH, and their outfield would have been pretty good, but now he's going to have to play the outfield. So they still got a couple options at DH. You mentioned Alonso. They got Matt Adams as well.
Austin Riley's really good third baseman that can DH.
So
got a good start of the year and then tailed off, but yeah.
Yeah, and then they loaded the bullpen up with veterans. I think Will Smith was one of the best off-season additions from anybody in the league. I think he's a great left-handed thrower, closer. Something I think the Braves have lacked since they lost Kimbrel. I don't think they've had much in that sense. And
Mark Malanson, the king? Mark Malanson, Andrew? He's great. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Okay. You can call him great if you want, but anyway, he was a mid-season addition last year. So whether
Mark Malanson, what can you say?
His days are his better days are behind him.
Yes, that is.
He was a fantastic closer when he was with the Pirates. He was hands down one of the better closers in the game. I mean, he constantly had his ERA under 2, but these last couple of years, When he went to the Giants, he really
Yeah,
that trade did not do him well. Let's just say that.
Not very good. No.
But yeah, they got if he can go back to what and then Shane Green really struggled when they traded for him last year, but before the trade, he was one of the better relievers in the game up until that point. So it'll be interesting to see what type of Shane Green they get this year. But no, I mean, I think this team, I think they'll be the team to beat in the division.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Again, it all depends on what they're able to do health wise, because again they've had that scare, and then we even mentioned Albies. I mean,
I love Ozzy Albies.
So I mean, again, they got a lot, and that's the thing about this team is they have a lot of great young players that are just as good as some of their veterans that mix so well together. It's not like they're relying on prospects to step up and then mix it with a bunch of veterans, or they're relying on the veterans mixed in with prospects. The way they built this team, it's a true two-way. They got great prospects and great veterans on this team that can really carry them, and I'm sure. I mean, when Freddie Freeman fully gets back, he'll only be a tremendous leader to them. So,
yeah, I'm excited to see this team. However, Andrew, I think this is the team that gets hurt the most from the 60-game season. I don't think the young guys will get comfortable enough early, and I think they'll lose enough games to have them fall out of the division race. There's a little preview for you right there.
Hey, that makes me happy to hear that.
There's a little preview for you, Andrew, right there. Let's finish the Braves because, like we said, we have to move on quickly here, Andrew.
Their catcher spot's definitely
Flowers,
one of the biggest holes in their lineup.
Yeah, Tyler Flowers and d'Arnaud have to really pick up the slack there. So we'll see, Andrew. We'll see. Who knows? 34, Andrew, over or under?
That would be a push option. So I'm gonna go just under.
I'm going under, and I think this is a lock. I don't think.
Okay. Again, that makes me happy to hear that, but
I don't think they get to 34. You'll be happier soon, Andrew.
I think if they stay healthy, they could get over. But I'm worried about what they get out of some of these guys. And they tried to replace Markakis with Yasiel Puig, and he failed his physical because he got the virus. So it's like they're already getting so much unfortunate luck for their way. So we'll see.
Yeah, he'll be there though. I like Yasiel Puig. I forgot about him. I should have wrote him down in the additions. But
well, no, he's not there anymore because he failed his physical.
But I think they're going to re-sign him once he's COVID free. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? All right, next team. We haven't talked about this team much, even though they're the defending World Series champions, the Washington Nationals. I know that makes you a little bitter, Andrew, because from your division. 93 and 59, 53% chance to make the playoffs, 23% to win the division. Notable additions, not really anyone, but I'm going to count Steven Strasburg as an addition because they re-signed him to a very large contract and a free agent year. Everyone thought they were going to lose him. They really chose Bryce Harper they chose Strasburg over Harper. So I thought that was funny. But they lose Anthony Rendon.
Yeah, I would say they chose Strasburg over Rendon and Harper.
That's true. So they lose Rendon to the Angels. He's not going to start the season, by the way. That news broke earlier today. My main question for them was, can they do it again? Because arguably they have the best three-pitcher combo in all of baseball with Strasburg, Scherzer, and Patrick Corbin, who, spoiler alert, I'm not very high on him either, but whatever. They're all three really good on their given days. Like I said, they're probably the best pitching staff in the NL. Juan Soto, man, how good is Juan Soto? Is he already a top 5 player in baseball?
I wouldn't go that far, but he's definitely on that trajectory.
He did everything Bryce Harper was supposed to do in 1 year.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, they lose Harper, and he stepped in and was Harper. I mean, he basically. I mean, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but his numbers compared to Harper's MVP numbers, what was that, 15 or 16? I can't remember. We're probably pretty close to that. I mean, and he filled in, and he's not going to go anywhere. I mean, he's only going to continue to get better. I haven't seen any attitude problems with him, so I mean, he's only going to work to get better. And I mean, it's crazy what he's able to do. And again, them being able, and that's why they were able to pick Strasburg over Harper, is because they knew what they had in him. I mean, I'd be interested to see if they didn't have this guy, but they had went Harper or whatever in that direction. So, And credit to their scouts and their draft, and they were able to replace that guy, replace Harper with a guy like that right away. I mean, that was his second year in the league. So it's not even like, I mean, usually when you lose a guy, it'll take a year or two before you kind of can replace that guy. These scouts had him right away, and we talked about that with the Dodgers when we mentioned them, how they're able to just replace everybody, and that's what this Nationals team were able to do. And it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I don't think their third base guy is as highly rated as Juan Soto was, but it's going to be interesting to see what kind of replacement they have in Rendon.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because, I mean, like we said, like you said, they find these prospects and they're just suddenly amazing. It's crazy. I mean, Trey Turner wasn't their prospect, but they traded for him immediately after they drafted him, I believe. He's great. Strasburg was homegrown. He was like a number one pick. He's great. Soto's great. I mean, they picked up Howie Kendrick off the scrap heap, and he turned into a World Series legend for them, which is crazy. And
I hate it so much for him.
And he's hitting well this year, too. And he's probably going to be their DH, which is crazy. They don't have Ryan Zimmerman. He opted out, so maybe their loss of leadership will help them. But Juan Soto is just so good. He had a 5 WAR last year as basically a rookie, which is something that does not happen. Only people like Pete Alonso does that kind of stuff. I love this team. I think this team ultimately wins the division. I think they keep this momentum going. But, Andrew, I'm very persuadable. I'm saying this now, but I wrote down my division standings, and I probably didn't even have them winning the division. I don't even know. It's division so close that I think it's going to be separated by like 1 or 2 games. And who knows? Like one injury here, like a coronavirus there on this division, that changes everything. And I really like this team. I'm a big fan of the Nationals. I respected what they did last year. But is the bullpen going to hold up? And is a World Series hangover going to happen? I mean, it happens to every team, honestly. So as I say that, I'm now back off my stand in this division. So we've come a full circle.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I mean, I think this division is going to end up being, like we mentioned with the NL Central, where this could be a division where you win the division at 31-29 or 30-30, just because of how close it can be, and I think it will be for the most part. And I mean, I like Sean Doolittle. You mentioned the bullpen. I think he's a good piece out of that pen. After that, I think it's a lot of question marks, and it's a spot that really hurt them in that first half we saw last year before they kind of, I don't remember the exact pieces they added, but before they added some pieces at the deadline that helped get them to where they were. And they even bring in Eric Thames, who's going to be a pretty good first baseman to come in. And I mean, again, he's not Anthony Rendon, but power-wise, I mean, he's a good guy to bring in.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really like these Nationals, but at the same time, I don't. So it's really tough to say. I was all in on the 2018 or the 2019 Red Sox, because they brought back basically their whole World Series team, and look, they finished barely above 500. So it's tough. It's really tough, especially that the World Series hangover in the 60 games. I am now not predicting good things for the Nationals. They're
you are easy. You are easy.
Yeah, hey, you convinced me, Andrew. You convinced me. Their over-under, Andrew, is at 34 games right now. You going over or under?
That's just like the Braves, right? Wasn't that the Braves?
Yep. I'm going under.
Yeah, I have to go under. Yeah.
Under. Yes. Good job, Andrew. All right, Andrew. We're not there yet. We're almost there, Andrew. LFG.
It's sad that we're not there yet. We should be there.
LFG. Here we go. The New York Mets. The New York Mets finished above the Phillies last year. When is the last time that happened?
Every year.
Man, the Phillies suck. You know, who knows?
Mets made the World Series, 4 years ago?
Who remembers that? 86 and 76, these Mets were 44% chance to make the playoffs, 24% chance to make their win division. Pretty crazy to see them actually have a better percent chance to win this division than the Nationals. So shout out to that. 24-23. Notable subtractions. They lost Zach Wheeler. They lost Todd Frazier, your brother. They lost Joe Panic. And Noah Syndergaard, a.k.a. Thor, unfortunately, UCL injury out for the season. Acquisitions, no one, but I'm counting Yoenis Cespedes as an acquisition for them right now because he has not played in how many years, and now he's back. He's healthy-ish. He's a great DH candidate, even though this team has a lot of DH candidates. So it's going to be interesting to see what we get from Cespedes. I like Cespedes. I love to see him playing. Andrew, I know you don't feel very fondly about the Mets, but what are your expectations from this Mets team?
Oh, quick! You forgot two acquisitions, I believe, but one I'm very surprised at because he played for your team.
Oh yeah, Rick Porcello. Yeah.
And then they also added Michael Wacha in the rotation, right?
Yes, he's there too, but Rick Porcello is a miss. Michael Wacha, good. Yeah, we'll see what Michael Wacha does. Yeah, last time he was good was in like the 2013 World Series.
No, I agree. Yeah, you mentioned I'm not a Mets fan at all, but they have potential. Like I really think the problem is you don't know what you're going to get out of some of these guys.
You never know Wilson, Mets in general.
Well, that's true too. But like Wilson Ramos, he's a pretty good hitting catcher for the most part. He's kind of had health issues in the past, so we'll see how many games they get out of him. Obviously, Pete Alonso is fantastic. I mean, that goes without saying. I'm interested to see. Let me ask you, how many home runs does he hit in 60 games?
I have a wager actually on Joey Gallo to lead the MLB in home runs. I'm thinking Joey Gallo can hit like 20. So under 20, I'm gonna say 15.
15? Okay. But no, yeah, he had I think a little over 50.
Very good.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, obviously as a fan, or as a Mets hater, I don't want to see it. But like if I was a Mets fan, I would want to see him bring his average up a little bit. I think that if he can improve that part of his game, that'd be pretty big for him. Another guy that's getting older, just like Wilson Ramos, Robinson Cano. What are they going to get out of him? Does he even start? I think he's expected to start, but we'll see what they can get out of him.
We'll see. Yeah, who knows what we're going to get at Cano? I'm telling you, they have a bunch of players that you really have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, they could either be fantastic, or they're all going to be terrible, and they could be a lock for. I mean, luckily they have the Marlins in the division, so they won't be that bad. But
yeah, I agree with you because a player to watch that was just awful last year. Awful. Edwin Diaz. They traded for him, and I think they signed him to a big deal, and he turns out to be garbage, just trash. So, I mean, if you could get anything from Edwin Diaz, anything, then it's an improvement. If you could get 5 to 10 saves.
Well, another acquisition I forgot about is if Edwin Diaz struggles this year, you could throw Dylan Betances there.
Yeah, and then I like the Betances move for them. I enjoyed that move a lot.
And they have three real options where they could put at closer depending on how they do. Diaz, Betances, and then Familia. Depending on which version of him they get too. There's another guy you really don't know what, like, he used to be pretty good, and then last year, like Diaz, he just blew up.
Yeah, it's all tough. It's really tough. I like this Mets team though. It's a fun team if their players perform. But I think again this is another team that the 60 games is just a killer, an absolute killer for them. Someone we haven't mentioned through this whole time is the best pitcher in the NL. Jacob deGrom is on this team. He's their ace. He's won the Cy Young, I think, 2 years in a row now. Is he going to do it for a third year, Andrew?
We'll get there.
Ooh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, we'll finish off with the Mets there. 32 wins.
Ooh, I like that question by Sam though.
Oh boy, Sam will.
Which number is higher, Alonso home runs or Marlins wins?
Oh boy, I'm gonna say Marlins wins. Oh man, what is there? Hold on, I gotta scroll.
I'm gonna go Marlins wins, but I think you could make this case. You could make a case Alonso home runs over Orioles wins.
Yeah, I was gonna say because 20 wins. I think the Marlins will get like around 20 wins, and I hope Pete Alonso doesn't hit 20 home runs for my bet's sake. So I'll take that. But Orioles, Pete Alonso, that's a good bet right there, Sam. Sam, you should be a bookmaker. You should make that a prop people can go bet on because that'll be fun. All right, Andrew. It's time.
This time.
We've come all this way, and we've made it. We've made it. We've made it to the Philadelphia Phillies. I can't wait. I'm gonna let you take the floor, but I'll tell you what they did in their over under. 81 and 81 last year, a perfect 500 for the Phillies. 23% chance to make the playoffs. 23. 11% chance to win the division. That's crazy. They're over under right now, Andrew. Do you want to take a guess of what it is if you haven't looked at it?
I believe it was 31 and a half, 32.
31 and a half, exactly. Okay. Just as the Boston Red Sox were at 31 and a half, Andrew. The same over under for both of our teams.
Go, what do you hear?
I don't mean my mic, Andrew. Just go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to do what you did to me. You made me go Red Sox first to get outsiders. Let's hear the outsiders' perspective first.
I really like this Phillies team. Here's the dirty secret. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I talk to you and I see Joe and I see all your Philly friends talking about the Phillies all the time. But I like this Phillies team. I really like this Phillies team. Bryce Harper has been apparently just squatting and just lifting heavy shit and learning how to play baseball again. He's got 11 more seasons in Philadelphia. He's going to want to win some baseball games. Let me tell you that now. JT Realmuto is the best catcher in baseball.
Please sign him.
Please sign him. Please sign him. That is the only thing I hear about from the Phillies. Bryce Harper literally wears a T-shirt jersey of JT because he's his favorite player. What are we doing? Just sign him.
Well, yeah, and then when they were doing an inter-squad game, JT hit a home run with Harper on second, I believe. When Harper got to the plate, he screamed out, sign him.
Okay, well, sign him. There we go. That solves that. So that he does that. He does all of those things. We love that. I really like this team. I'm not sold on the pitching staff. I think Zach Wheeler is garbage, to be honest. I don't know why the Phillies gave him that much money. The Phillies. I'm not a big Zach Wheeler guy. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't watch Zach Wheeler. I don't watch Mets baseball. So you probably have a better feel of how he is because you've seen him pitch against your team. I used to be a big Aaron Nola guy, but he shit the bed last year and did not give me what I needed fantasy-wise. So.
People have that early on. I'm not panicking about Nola.
I'm not either. Like I said, I like this team. And I really like Jake Arrieta, too. I think Jake Arrieta has a bounce-back year. I've seen this. I've seen the clips. He's in good shape. I love Jake Arrieta. I need him to do well. I think Jake Arrieta does well. I think he has a great year this year for his standards, I guess, for like a number 3 starter standards. But I like Jake. I like McCutchen. I like JT. I like this team, Andrew. And guess what, Andrew? I think this team could win the division.
No, listen. Like I said, this division's up for grabs because of how even these teams are. So I really think they will compete for the division. I'm honestly not as high on this team as you are. So that makes me very, very good to hear that. It makes me happy to hear that. But no, the pitching is a big concern for me. I think that's why I'm so shaky. I really think if this offense all clicks at once, this offense could compete with almost any offense in the NL outside the Dodgers. Like I really believe that. Gene Segura always hits for a pretty good average. He's a reliable hitter. You bring in a guy like Didi Gregorius. I mean, he's been very good. We'll see what he's able to do. Scott Kingery's an up-and-coming player. Rhys Hoskins has to – if he does what he did the first half of last year, he was a good hitter. He's got power. He struggled mightily in the second half. And as you mentioned, obviously you have guys like Bryce Harper and JT Realmuto, so not concerned on those two. And then even DH, you're in a good spot with the DH as well. Jay Bruce isn't bad. I mean, he's a pretty good power hitter too. I really like – the big question with the Phillies is whether they're going to do the service time thing and not start him at the beginning of the year. But I think by the end of the year, I know we mentioned him when we did the draft of those teams, and Alec Boehm. I think he's going to take over the DH spot by the end of the year.
The absolute craziest draft I've ever been a part of. I have never been a part of such Philadelphia bias. Man, I hope you're watching.
I don't think there's much. I don't think many guys were drafted from the Phillies.
Alec Boehm got drafted higher than like.
That's because we did a 5-year. It's because we did a 5-year draft.
Still, he got drafted over like Adley Rutschman. Like that is crazy.
So you didn't do your research on Alec Boehm yet?
No,
clearly.
I haven't. I did not watch. Joe told me to watch Alec Boehm film, and let me tell you, I did not even consider watching it. Not even consider it.
He's going to be really good. He's there. There's a lot of upside to it.
Give me a comparison. Who is a young player that he's been compared to? I guess.
I'm not.
What position did he play? Third.
Yeah, he's a third baseman. They might move him to first depending on the Hoskins situation.
Is he Vladdy Jr. light?
What?
Is he Vladimir Guerrero Jr. light?
Yeah, he could be that good, if not better.
Oh, man. Oh, he's not better?
I said, if not better.
Okay. All right.
No, he's gonna be the real deal. Like,
okay. We've got some comments. Let me give you a second. I'll give you a second to breathe here. Savage Octagon says, "Go Pub Sports, go." Appreciate the love there. And Samwise asks an excellent question as always: who finishes with the better offense, the Philadelphia Phillies or the Boston Red Sox?
I think if everything clicks with everything right, the Phillies would have.
I don't know. I don't care about everything clicking right, Andrew. I want to know this year, in the year of our Lord 2020, in the 60 games, who do you think, the Phillies or the Red Sox? Is everything going to click for the Phillies team?
Comparing positions.
I'll save you the trouble. I'm picking the Phillies.
No, I think it's that close, though. I mean,
our teams are identical, Andrew. We have the same over/under. It's.
Well, I'm thinking you guys win DH by a landslide. I mean, JD Martinez over Jay Bruce any day.
Yeah. You guys get first base. Reese Hoskins is better than Mitch Moreland.
It depends. Honestly, Reese Hoskins is my favorite player on the Phillies, but it depends on which Hoskins we get. Like, he was the worst statistical hitter in the second half last year.
That's hilarious. I'm glad I got you that jersey now.
I mean, again, he's my favorite player. I'm a huge Reese Hoskins fan. Very nice guy. I met him a couple times.
Where'd you meet him? You meet him at your local deli?
No, I didn't. Okay, I guess meeting is a strong word, but like.
All right, so what are we talking?
I got his autograph a couple times and a picture. But
okay. So you guys are best friends. What you're saying?
Best friends.
That's text. All right.
But no, again, if he clicks, but obviously Bogarts beats Gregorius.
Mm-hmm.
Devers beats Gene Segura.
Yep.
So I mean, this is actually a pretty good question. I'm gonna lean Phillies, but it's gonna be pretty close.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So do you have any final thoughts on your Phillies here? I want you to get everything out because I got everything out for the Red Sox. I want you to every Philly thought you have right now.
See, where I'm frustrated is the Phillies do nothing with their pitching, but after looking at your starters, this makes me feel a little better. This makes me feel better, and I feel bad about complaining about it now. But
I mean, I complain about everything the Red Sox do, and I don't feel bad at it at all. So you should not feel bad. Don't worry.
But the Phillies, like, we haven't had a bullpen, a trustworthy bullpen, and I don't know how long, and we continue to let that slide and not even go about that business. And
who's your closer?
Our closer's Hector Neris, which I really like, but his best spot is a setup man. And you ask anybody, they will say that, and for whatever reason, everyone else can see that, but not the front office. So we leave him at closer for I think the third or fourth straight year. He'll be the closer.
Would you give up like prospect? Say Edwin Diaz shits the bed again. Would you give up prospects for him?
Diaz, no.
Okay.
I don't trust. I would love to. I would trade prospects, but here the Blue Jays are gonna be good this year. The trade I really wanted last year. When we were at we were first place at the deadline last year, so I wanted a legitimate closer.
That is hilarious.
I wanted prospects. I would have traded prospects for either Ken Giles from the Blue Jays or Alex Colon from the White Sox. Those were two guys that were on the market, ended up going nowhere. But I would have given up prospects for him easy.
Ken Giles is probably the decision there. I don't think the White Sox would give away their guy that easily. Ken Giles is definitely the guy. You could have got him.
But it doesn't matter because we did neither. We stuck with Hector Neris.
Who's your GM again? Don't you love him?
Matt Klentak is the GM of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, I know you love him. You love him.
We'll see how much longer that lasts, especially if he loses JT. Because obviously there's going to be a lot of teams going for the best catcher in baseball.
And it's by far the best catcher in baseball.
And we're just as bad as the Red Sox about wanting to stay underneath that luxury tax. So that is why we might not be able to sign JT. Even though we're a pretty big market team and we should have no worries about going over it.
Yeah. Now you know how it feels. Here we go.
Oh, I mean, I know how it feels. I haven't been in the Phillies have not been in the playoffs since 2011. At least you've had some World Series since then.
Hey, my team, they were a big market, and then suddenly, no more.
Lost all the money, but
no more.
I really think a big part of the season could depend on what you get out of Jake Arrieta. I'm not high on him. I know you mentioned how high you are on him. You saw the videos of him pitching this offseason.
Fuck yeah!
I've seen enough videos not to get behind that. Whether it's Vince Velasquez, he always does very good in the spring training and then struggles in the regular season.
Trash.
But there's always hype around him because he has a tremendous couple innings in spring training.
No thanks.
Listen, I love the guy, but the amount of Ben Simmons videos I've seen of him shooting threes that don't translate. We all know how videos translate. Like it's all practice. So until I see it in the game, I'm not going to get behind it. But this team, if they click, they could be really good. But I'm very skeptical about the pitching, and I think the pitching is going to significantly hold this team back at times. And I forget what you said, 31.5. The over/under. I will be honest, I'm going under on that. I really.
Wow.
I
objectivity.
I really think with the pitching staff here, it's really going to be a setback. And the amount of games I've seen the Phillies blow after the starters left the game, and again, they did nothing to make this bullpen better. So,
all right, well, Andrew, here's what's going to shock you, Andrew. I'm going over.
Listen, I love to hear that.
You know what, Andrew, and I scrolled down because we're about to get into who we think's going to win the division and all that stuff, all rankings for this division. I scrolled down. I took my pencil. I erased what I had, and I rewrote my rankings, Andrew. And I would like to get into this now, because I have the Phillies winning the division, Andrew. Let's go, Andrew.
Let's go.
No, we're winning the division, Andrew.
I'd love to hear that.
We're winning the division.
Did you back it up with money?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'm
curious.
I do have money on it.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. I remember. I told you. I bet the Phillies to win the division on your birthday for you. I remember. Yes, I actually do have money on the Phillies winning the division. That's awesome. So let me tell you, I do plus 500 to win the division, Andrew. Let's go. I'm on the train.
Wow, that's 5-1. That's not bad. That should bring you back something good.
It is. It is going to bring me back something good. So I have the Phillies winning this division, 34 wins.
34. I was going to ask you what you have then. I know you went over, but
34 wins right there. Number 2, Andrew, I've got the Atlanta Braves. I had them at 3 originally because, like I told you, I think the Braves are going to step back. But I didn't take into account the World Series hangover. You're
high on that.
I saw it, Andrew, with my own 2 eyes. They had the same exact team, and they just couldn't do it. They just couldn't do it, Andrew. So this national team is good on paper. They're not going to.
See, I think this layoff would help avoid a World Series hangover.
I think it's going to make it even worse. They're going to be like, fuck yeah, guys, look. We won the World Series, the full World Series that actually counts. I'm going Phillies for 34 wins. This is the only division I wrote wins out, by the way.
we never did that part.
Braves, 33 wins. Nationals, 32 wins. Mets, 32 wins. And then the team we're not going to talk about, the Miami Marlins. In the basement. Because Andrew, I don't want to talk about the Marlins. We're already an hour and a half into this podcast. And they have cool athletic prospects. That's about it. Sixto Sancho, I can't wait to see you if you come up, but you probably won't. So, go see it. Any other final Philly thoughts before?
Oh, well, before I get my prediction.
Yeah, I want you to. I want to make sure you got it all out. You know.
No, I can't wait to watch this offense. I think the offense is going to produce at a great amount. I'm excited to see Andrew McCutchen come back after his injury. That was a really downfall last year when he tore his ACL. That was kind of where you saw the slide from the Phillies. So I'm excited, very, very excited to get him back and have him at the top of the lineup again. And I'm excited about Zach Wheeler. I don't think he's as bad as you made it sound like he was, or is, whatever you want to call it. I don't think – I think he'll probably shoot for around a 3.5 to 3.7 ERA-ish, somewhere around there.
That's not what we want.
Not as a 2. I mean, bring someone else in, move Arrieta out, and put Wheeler at 3. I take a 3.5, 3.6.
Jake Arrieta's your number 2, Andrew. That's why. Buy
number
it.
2?
Yeah.
Jerry, I don't. Okay, I wish I could be that high on him. I don't. I'm very curious. What did you see in this video? In these
Andrew,
videos,
I saw God, Andrew. I saw God, and his name is Jake Arrieta.
Listen, I hope you're right, but let me just read you his last 5 years.
Please.
We go from 1.77 to a 3.10.
Okay, that's all right.
3.53.
Okay.
And then in a shortened year last year, 3.96.
Injuries. He's healthy now. Here we go, Andrew.
Well, the injuries benefited in him keeping that below 3 or below 4.
What? He couldn't play hurt, Andrew. What can you say?
Hey,
he's healthy now. He's ready.
Hey, I hope you're right. I really do.
All right, Andrew. Well.
I forgot last year. My bad. 3.96 was 18. His first year with the Phillies.
Oh,
I was going to say that sounded too good. That sounded too good from last year. He had a 4.64 last year.
Is that good?
No.
Okay. Well, it happens.
But no, yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
I'm excited to watch this team because I really hope they prove me wrong. I've been fooled the last couple of years when they were in first place at the deadline 2 years in a row and then found a way to finish 4th place 2 years in a row after being first. So that's another reason why I'm a little skeptical.
That is hilarious. That is very, very funny.
So yeah, we'll see.
All right, what is your NL rankings? Where do you think this division is going to go right now?
This division goes: Braves win it, Nationals come in 2nd, Phillies 3rd, Mets 4th, Marlins 5th.
Okay, so we basically got the same thing. Did you say Phillies 3rd?
Phillies 3rd.
Wow, unbiased.
I think Braves and Nationals. I mean,
unbiased journalism.
Hey, unbiased is right.
All right, let's do the AL, Andrew. I'll let you start with the AL.
I have Yankees, Rays, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Orioles.
I have the same thing, but man, the Red Sox, Blue Jays are going to be battling for that 3rd place spot. That's really going to hurt my feelings. All right, Andrew. So I have some final things for you before we go. We're an hour and a half into this podcast.
This might be our longest yet.
Yeah, we still have 2 more things to talk about. I mean, we're on baseball eve, basically. We're almost there.
It's like Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas in July.
So let's talk first playoffs. Who do you think total everyone that's going to make the playoffs? I'll start. I've got the Yankees making the 1 seed. Astros at 2. The Twins at 3. And I've got the Rays and the A's finishing in the wild cards. Just below them, I even wrote honorable mentions for the AL. I had the Indians, Angels, and Blue Jays all in them honorable mentions, and I did not even put the Red Sox in there because, reasons. Now you're going to have to help me with this one, Andrew. The NL, I have the Dodgers, and I left a blank spot open for number 2 because I don't know who's going to win the NL Central. I have fucking no idea. No absolute idea. I don't know if it's going to be the Reds. I don't know. It's going to be the Cardinals, but I'm going to write there in pen. I'm going to write the Cardinals in pen.
Well, you got to pick whoever you picked last week to win the division.
Well, I hope it's the Cardinals. I don't remember now. So I'm picking the Cardinals to finish 2. I'm picking the Phillies to finish 3rd, even though I have the Nationals written 3rd. The Phillies in 3rd. I've got the Padres in the playoffs. And I have the Braves. I have the Braves sliding in the playoffs. I didn't think I was going to have the Braves in the playoffs. Let me write that down right now.
I love how you went from Nationals being a division winner to missing the playoffs.
You know what, Andrew? I told you, man. I am telling you, the World Series hangover is real. I saw it.
No,
I can't explain it. It's just happens.
no, I understand that. I just think it's funny that you came into this show with them being that high of a team, and then as we're wrapping this up, you have them missing the playoffs. That just shows how easy you are to swing the other way.
Yeah, so I can be convinced. What are your playoffs, Andrew?
All right, so starting with the AL, I have the Astros number 1, Indians number 2,
Whew.
Yankees number 3,
Okay.
because they put the division winners first. But like I said at the top of the show, I really think the Yankees are maybe the 5th best in the AL. And then I know you were high on the Rays, but I got the Rays missing the playoffs. My wild card teams will be the Twins and the A's. And Tampa Bay will be watching the playoffs from home.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see because I have them winning the World Series if the Dodgers aren't. So, all right. So let's get into the matchups right now. Who do you think's going to win the World Series? Who do you think will be in the World Series?
All right. Well, real quick, my NL real quick
I thought you already
is
said it. All right, go ahead.
Dodgers 1.
Of course.
Did I go Braves or Reds 2?
See, it's hard. Like it's so hard.
Give me Reds 2.
Man, I didn't put the Reds in the playoffs. Fuck.
Braves 3.
Man, I think the Reds might beat the playoffs over the Braves. All right.
And then my wild card teams will be the Cardinals and the Nationals.
Okay. Well,
So yes,
I have just changed. The Braves are not making the playoffs. The Reds are making the playoffs for the Braves. So let's make that now. Let's make that note now. I have the Braves not making the playoffs. It'll be shocking for a lot of people, but we'll see what happens. Award winners, Andrew. We're not going to do Rookie of the Year.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's tough in a year like this.
Yeah, let's do Cy Youngs and MVPs. I'll start because again we have to wrap this show up because we've been going for a while. But before we do that, let's go to our correspondent in the comments, Samwise Gamgee. Who wins the NL Toilet Bowl, Miami or San Francisco? I'll keep this short. I think it's San Francisco because Miami has a bunch of prospects that want to win.
So Giants will be the better team this year.
No, we're looking for the worst team.
So then Miami wins the toilet bowl.
Yeah. So I think San Francisco.
Giants have
the worst record. That's what I'm saying.
In the NL or the MLB?
The MLB. Well, the Orioles are there, so never mind. Just the NL, I guess. Forgot about the Orioles.
Well, yeah, I think Orioles, Royals, Tigers, Marlins all finish with a worse record than the Giants.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe even the Mariners. I forget what we said with them.
All right. AL MVP.
You said you were going first.
Okay.
You said you were going first.
Oh, sorry. I forgot. I guess. Mike Trout. I'll pick Mike Trout every year until otherwise proven guilty. That's just what it is. I hope he plays. I hope he plays the whole year.
As long as he plays. If he sits out, he's missing time, so he might not even.
He might not, but you know what? I'll take my safe bet with Mike Trout. Let me see. Who else do I have on there? I'm not picking a Yankee. I don't want to pick an Astro. No one on the Twins is going to win it. Are we going to give it to Charlie Morton? No. So it's just Mike Trout.
Matt Chapman?
I wish.
Nelson Cruz?
No. Definitely not. Not at 40 years old. Sorry, Nelson. Your MVP for the AL?
Yeah, Mike Trout. I mean, he's
the
best player. He's the best player. There's no question about it.
AL Cy Young.
Oh, am I going first now?
Yeah, yes, you're going first.
This is tough because I like a lot of pitchers in this league, and I really think it's going to be a fight. I'm going to lean. I wrote down Justin Verlander. I think I'm going to stick with it, even with another year under his belt. But I think with everything going on, even with the hit against the Astros, he'll find a way to get them the 1 seed again, and he'll just edge out Garrett Cole.
Okay. I have Garrett Cole winning it, unfortunately. But I have 2 Rays in the top 5, just to let you know. If I had to give it out right now, it'd be freaking Garrett Cole, Charlie Morton at 2, Verlander at 3, Glass now at 4.
Man, you're forgetting about 2 pitchers you raved about last week. I'm going to call you out on that one.
Please, dude. I love Trevor. Who are we going to say? I don't remember. I was going to say Trevor Bauer. He's not in the AL.
Well, we talked about the Indians last week. You said Shane.
Oh, yeah, shit. That's right. You know,
you said Shane Bieber.
5 too.
You said 2 Indians would be in the top 5 in the Cy Young last week, and now you have 0 in the top 5 this week.
Shane Bieber and Mike Clevenger are right there. They're battling for 5th. They're tied for 5th.
That's funny.
But yeah, I have Garrett Cole. So there's my AL and those picks. NL MVP. I'm going with Mookie Betts.
It's a good pick. I'm gonna go with his teammate. I'm going Bellinger again.
I wanted to give it to Bellinger, but I have a feeling that voters will be like, "Oh, let's give it to Mookie Betts. He wins MVP in both leagues, so let's give it to him." And then I'm going Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
All right. NL Cy Young. You teased this earlier, Andrew. Who are you picking?
I teased it earlier.
Yeah, NL Cy Young.
When did I tease?
I asked you if you thought a certain someone was going to three-peat for the Cy Young.
Oh,
DeGrom.
That is right.
It's accurate, yeah.
I really want to. I don't know if he's going to win again. I want to pick him, but I also want to pick your boy. I really think he's going to be just as good as I think Jack Flaherty is going to be very good, and I think he will make a case.
If you fucking take it, I swear.
And I think when you break it down, I'm a big component of it. If you're able to get your team, I'm not going to say carry, but if you get your team to the playoffs, I think that should carry weight in a way. And I would expect him to finish with more wins because the Cardinals are the better team. So with DeGrom missing the playoffs and Flaherty, I expect to get into the playoffs. Give me Flaherty.
Okay, Jack Flaherty. I've got Flaherty as well. We're pretty overlapping there, so I'm glad to see it, Andrew. All right, the last thing. We've gone a very long time. I actually have someone waiting for me outside. I feel bad that I've kept them waiting this long. I'm sorry, Victor.
Blame it on me.
Baseball starts this week. Baseball starts on Thursday, if you didn't know, Andrew. We're not going to be on until next Tuesday, I believe. So we're not going to be able to talk about the games as they happen. But I would like to get your thoughts on the most exciting game of the first 2 days. So I've written down some candidates, and I'd like a quick answer here, Andrew. A quick answer.
I'm not good at that, though.
Quick. We've got July 23rd, opening night. We've got Garrett Cole versus Max Scherzer. Excellent matchup. We'll see how long they go. We've got Johnny Cueto and the San Francisco Giants versus the fucking juggernaut Dodgers with Clayton Kershaw. That'll be a fun matchup. Good rivalry there. First time we get to see the full-strength Dodgers. I've also got the next day. This is a fun matchup right here. The Twins at the White Sox. Jose Barrios versus Lucas G. Elite O. That'll be a great matchup right there, Andrew. Don't forget that. We've got the D-backs versus the Padres. Madison Bumgarner's first start with his new team versus Chris Paddock of the Padres. I love that matchup. I've got the A's versus the Angels, a West Coast battle with Andrew Heaney, Oklahoma State, by the way, and Frankie Montauk. And I've got the Blue Jays at the Rays, Hyunjin Ryu versus Charlie Morton. What are those games? Which one are you be watching besides Phillies, Miami Marlins?
All of them. Uh,
All right.
I'll have MLB TV up with probably all the
Good
games
answer.
up.
We love that answer.
But no, in all seriousness, I mean, I think you mentioned a lot of them. So I'd say
I'm putting you in a pickle. Yeah. You know,
I'd say the best one out of the ones you mentioned, I think overall, is going to be the Thursday night first game of the 2020 season. I think Yankees Nationals is going to be a tremendous game, and I think for once the MLB finally did something right and picked a very good game. I mean, they haven't marketed it very well because I don't think many people know it is the first game of the year, but they picked the right teams to play, and Cole and Scherzer is going to be a fantastic matchup, especially with both offenses being pretty good as well. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of game that turns into.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. That'll be fun. I'll go quickly here because you never do. I'm going to pick a tie between Jose Barrios and Lucas Giolito, the Twins, White Sox. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see the White Sox play. I saw some of their scrimmage game against the Cubs, and they were just freaking teeing off of Yu Darvish. So I'm excited to see that, the young players there, and I'm excited to see the Diamondbacks versus the Padres because I want to see Madison Bumgarner versus Chris Paddock.
Okay. Real quick, underrated game you might not think about. I think it's turning into a really cool offensive game. Rockies Rangers.
Rockies Rangers. Wow.
I know. I really do. Like that could turn into a fun offensive battle.
That will be fun, Andrew. That will be fun. Well, Andrew, we finally have gotten to the end of this program.
Not yet. One more thing.
Oh boy, what's up?
We need to pin down our World Series. Like, just so you don't have to go through the whole playoffs, but just the World Series matchup.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. I've got Dodgers Rays, and I've got the Dodgers winning.
Okay. I'm gonna take Dodgers A's.
Wow.
Dodgers winning.
The A's. Did you have them in the wild card?
I did.
Okay. All right.
My wild card was the Twins and the A's, and that is why I left out the Rays.
All right. I'm excited to see it. That'll be a fun matchup, Andrew. That'll be very fun. Well, as always, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. I hope that our Phillies now, since I have them winning the division.
I love that. Our Phillies.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see wear a jersey.
Yeah, my ass. That'll be fun. I can't wait to see it, everyone. It's going to be a great time. We finally have baseball back. I can't imagine that this wait was going to be this long, but we've made it. We've made it this far, and it's going to be a great time. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll be back next Tuesday. We'll see you guys then. Thank you, guys. Crisp 2 hours.
You know what Sam just texted me?
No.